So, these hormones what I mentioned are the chemical messengers which are secreted by endocrine gland, and it has a specific to target to cause an activation in the cellular change. And there are 4 different types of these chemical messengers or hormones. All these hormones are secreted in trace amounts, and it will have its target organ and its effects. There are 4 classes of hormones. One is a protein, second one is a peptide based hormones, third one is amino acid derivative hormones, fourth one is steroid based hormones. Protein, peptide, amino acid derivative and steroid. How these hormones will act on a target organs? These hormones will act on a target organs in 2 ways. One, by binding to the membrane receptors. These hormones do not enter the cell, but they generate a physiological change in the cell by causing the secondary messenger to act upon the cell. First one, it will work by binding to the membrane receptors. Second one, it will work by binding to the cellular or nuclear receptors. These hormones enter the cell and they generate a physiological change by modulating the gene action. For this purpose, they enter the nucleus and bind to the DNA of the cell. So, usually hypothalamic pituitary axis will work at each level to create a biofeedback, and it will run and control all the axes. The axis is a secondary in charge of almost everything apart from hypothalamus. Hypothalamus secretes regulatory hormones. One set of hormones are called as releasing hormones, RH. Other set of hormones are called as releasing inhibiting hormones, RIH. All these releasing hormones and releasing inhibitory hormones directs the pituitary gland, which is in turn secretes its hormones to control the working of all other glands. So, what I mean is, hypothalamus will give you instructions by using releasing hormones and release inhibiting hormones, one to activate, one to inhibit, and it will send information to the pituitary, and pituitary in turn will secrete another set of hormones which will work on the target organs. There are 2 hormones which are secreted by hypothalamus, but it is stored in the pituitary. So, usually the stimulus, either negative or positive feedback stimulus, will motivate the hypothalamus either to release the hormones or release the inhibiting hormones, and pituitary will release the stimulating hormones, and upon reaching to the gland, these hormones will have an effect on the target organ. Similarly, we have inhibiting hormones from hypothalamus are somatostatin, prolactin. These are inhibitory hormones. Release hormones, we have thyrotropin releasing hormone, growth hormone releasing hormone, gonadotropin releasing hormone. These are secreted from the hypothalamus. Pituitary. Pituitary, as we say, it is a master gland. It has 2 parts. One is the anterior pituitary and second one is a posterior pituitary. Anterior pituitary produces growth hormones, thyroid stimulating hormones, adrenocorticotropic hormones, prolactin, follicular stimulating hormones, luteinizing hormones, melanocyte stimulating hormones, and the posterior pituitary will secrete oxytocin and vasopressin, which also means antidiuretic hormone. The anterior pituitary hormones are thyroid stimulating, growth hormones, adrenocorticotropin hormones, prolactin, follicular stimulating hormone, luteinizing hormone. Thyroid stimulating hormone will act on the thyroid gland to produce thyroid hormone synthesis and release. The growth hormone works on multiple tissues of the body to help to promote the growth and development of the body. The adrenocorticotropic hormone ACTH works on the adrenal cortex to release the cortisol levels. The prolactin hormone, which targets on the breast to help for milk production in lactating mother. Follicular stimulating hormone works on the gonad either to produce egg or sperm production. Luteinizing hormone helps on the gonad to produce sex hormones. So, posterior pituitary oxytocin works on the smooth muscles of uterus and breast. Its function is during the labor and delivery and milk ejection. ADH works on the kidneys, distal convoluted tubule and collective tubules, and it helps for water reabsorption and maintenance of water balance in the body. Pineal gland is located deep within the brain. Pineal gland produces melatonin. Melatonin targets all the tissues of the body, which is responsible mainly for biological clock, day and night waking up cycle and temperature regulation. Thyroid gland. Thyroid gland is located on either side of trachea. It helps to produce T3, T4, thyrocalcitonin hormones. It targets all the tissues of our body. Thyroid gland helps us to regulate the basal metabolic rate, supports the process of red blood formation, control the mechanism of carbohydrate, proteins and fat, maintains the water and electrolyte balance, and also helps to regulate the blood calcium level. Parathyroid gland. Two pairs of parathyroid glands are situated on the back side of thyroid gland, which secrete hormones called as parathyroid hormones, which works on the bones to stimulate bone reabsorption, of calcium by renal tubules, to increase the blood calcium level, and it also plays a significant role in the calcium balance of the body. When there is a hypercalcemic content or hypocalcemic content, parathyroid hormone will help us to maintain the calcium balance in the body. Thymus. Thymus is located on the dorsal side of the heart and aorta. Main hormone secreted from this is thymosins. The target organs are immune system. It helps to produce the differentiation of T lymphocytes for cell mediated immunity. It helps you to promote the antibodies production for humoral immunity, and also thymus degenerates at the age, resulting in weak immunity and weak immune response. Pancreas. Pancreas is situated below the stomach. It secretes hormone called as glucagon and insulin. It mainly targets the liver cells or hepatocells. The function: glucagon stimulates the glycogenolysis and stimulate the process of gluconeogenesis. So, insulin regulates the glucose homeostasis, enhances the cellular glucose uptake and utilization. It also stimulates the conversion of glucose to glycogen in the liver. Together, both glucagon and insulin will help you to regulate the blood sugar. Adrenal glands. Each one of the adrenal gland is situated on the anterior side of each kidney. The hormone secreted is adrenaline, noradrenaline and corticoids. Target organs: all the tissues of our body. Functions: adrenal increases the alertness, increases pupillary dilatation, increases piloerection, raising of the hair and sweating. It increases heartbeat, the strength of heart contraction and respiratory rate. It also stimulates the breakdown of glycogen, resulting in increased glucose concentration in the blood. It stimulates the breakdown of the protein and lipids. Corticoids are involved in carbohydrate metabolism and regulation of water and electrolytes in the body. It stimulates gluconeogenesis, lipolysis and proteolysis. Cortisol maintains a cardiovascular system and kidney functions in balance. Cortisol stimulates the red blood cell production and it has an anti-inflammatory action. The aldosterone maintains the body electrolytes, body fluid volumes, osmotic pressure and blood pressure. Sex corticoids control the growth of axial, pubic and facial hair. Gonads, testes in male, a pair of testes in scrotal sac for males. It produces androgens and testosterone. Target is male reproductive system. Androgens regulate the development, maturation and function of male accessory sex organs, stimulate the growth of facial hair, axillary hair, aggressiveness and low pitch of voice. It helps you to stimulate the spermatogenesis, acts on the central nervous system and also influences the libido. Gonads, ovary, a pair of ovary in the abdomen of female, produces estrogen and progesterone hormones which targets on female reproductive system. Estrogen regulates the growth of female secondary sexual organs, development of ovarian follicles, appearance of secondary sex characters, mammary gland development, regulate the female sexual behavior. Progesterone supports the pregnancy and progesterone also stimulates the breast milk secretion. Accessory endocrine organs. In heart, natriuretic factor controls the blood pressure. In kidneys, erythropoietin helps for the formation of red blood cells. In GI tract, secretin helps to secrete the pancreatic juices. Gastrin helps to secrete gastric juices. Cholecystokinin helps to release of the bile. Gastric inhibitory peptide retards gastric secretion and motility. All of them helps to control the working of gastrointestinal tract. There are different diseases of endocrine system related with pituitary, dwarfism, gigantism, cretinism, thyroidism, goiter, diabetes and so many other diseases. So, this much details are enough for the beginner who is inclined to study endocrine system in relation with the yoga. So, you should understand that yoga influences the endocrine system and helps you to do a better hormonal regulation. So, it also means that yoga can help you in much better areas where modern medical science cannot be of much help, or yoga can help you as an adjuvant therapy along with conventional medical therapies. Thank you.